I don't know why I say hi like that every time. Hi, it is Monday, and today's show is going to be fantastic. I'm going to give everyone some news they can really use. So, as always, I'm going to share this to my other pages, and please tag a friend, share this video. We're going to get started, and I got some good information for you today. So, give me a second. And the weather is nice. The weather is beautiful here in Rochester, New York. Finally, I think it's like 75 degrees. But we're going to get so deep today because I just want to give you guys a couple of tips on working towards transitioning your life. So that's what the show is going to be about today. Today is going to be about self-improvement. And once I share this video, look at my bed, my sheets could have been straighter, but you know, this message is more important than those sheets. Okay, share it to a page. I'm coming, shoe game. And then share it to my personal page, and we're going to get started. I need some music, right? One day. All right, so I am back. Here I go. Here I go. Hi, happy Monday, and thank you guys for joining me today. The sun is out, so my lighting is good. Rocking my natural, you know. Well, I'm happy and I'm excited, and I didn't prepare for a message today, but nevertheless, I'm like, I know exactly what we can talk about. I'm always talking about myself, it seems like, but today we're going to talk about self-improvement and things that we can do to improve the quality of our lives. Things that we can do to improve ourselves as a person. Say you want to get promoted at your job, or you want to become a better mother, a better cook, a better wife, whatever, or you want to lose weight, whatever you feel you can do better in than what you're doing, the time is now to make changes to do that. So the first thing we're going to start with is getting out a piece of paper and writing down the things that we need to be happy for the rest of our life. From here until now, what needs to be in place for you to live a happily ever after? Write those down. I wrote them down myself. It was 14 things on my list. 14 things on my list that I would need in place for my life to be what I would consider perfect. So, once you identify the things that you want, the way you want your life to be, then the next step is working towards that goal. Okay, one thing on my list, I want to become a multimillionaire. So, one habit that I took on is reading more. I study millionaires. I read books about wealth. I read books about how to make money. I read books on success. Okay? So if you want to lose weight, then you want to start watching videos or following people who are health conscious, that work out, that eat good, that can give you good recipes and different tips to help you work towards your goal. So once you got those 14, that's my number. So it doesn't matter how many things on there. It could be one or two. But once you make that list, then it's time to say, what do I need to do to make sure these things are accomplished? And as time goes on, you check that list off. Okay? That's one thing that will help you. The next thing that will help you, I should have told people to take notes because it's going to be good, I think. So the next thing that will help you, if, like, I'm on a transition. I'm transitioning my life, but I'm still helping others transitioners. So if you want to transition where you just want better in life, I think these are some helpful tips. So another thing, if you're trying to improve your life, you have to look at your bad habits and say, make a list of them. What are my bad habits? Am I a gambler? Do I smoke too many cigarettes? Am I, for my messing up my health? Am I always late to everything? Am I a procrastinator? You know, you have to make a list of your habits so that way you'll know what's stopping you. And sometimes we don't even know we have these habits until we sit down and really take inventory of our bad habits. And you can also write a list of your good habits. And as you start changing your habits, then you can start crossing those off. Like, say, for instance, you want to lose weight, but you drink 6 Pepsis a day. That's a bad habit. So you'll say, okay, in time, I'm going to eliminate even drinking soda altogether. And you cross that off. Because not only are you improving your health, you're also reminding yourself that you can do anything you put your mind to. So that's another thing that I will suggest you guys do. Just like when you go to a job interview and the interviewer asks you what's your strength and your weaknesses. We don't need other people to ask us that. We need to be asking ourselves that. We need to be writing this down or looking in the mirror and really getting an idea of where are we strong in our life. Not just on a job, but in your spiritual life, in your family life, in your personal life. When you sit alone, where's your strengths? And what is your weakness? It's things we have to consider because we say we want change, but people want change. They say, I want a better job. I want a nicer car. I want a bigger house. But are people really seeking change from the inside? Because once you change from the inside, all those things, it comes with the package. But you don't want to be wealthy and have no soul. Or, have no understanding of how life should be structured. If you want a different lifestyle, you have to do things that you never did. To get things you never had, you have to do things that you never did. So, just like me, for instance, I always use myself, for example, because I wore many hats. I've been through trials and tribulations, and I know how things go. So, I never was a morning person. And I kept telling myself, you're not a morning person. I wanted to get up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. to work out by 7. And I struggled with that for like a year. And finally I said, you know what? That's the old me. The new me is a morning person. I want to lose weight. I am going to be up at 6 and working out by 7 because that's important to me. But if you keep holding on to your old ways, having your mind say, well, you're not a morning person. What are you doing up at 7 a.m.? I'm going to continue to be overweight because I'm not listening to the inner me. I'm listening to the old me. Sometimes you got to bury those old habits, and you don't even know that you have those bad habits until you sit down and really reflect on them. And it's not that you want to live a perfect life, but you want to live a life where your mental is on point. And that's how those couple exercises I gave you is just an example of how you can get your mind right or how you can begin your self-improvement. And another thing, which I do myself, is be mindful of when you go to bed at night, don't go to sleep watching TV. Don't go to bed listening to music. If you are going to go to bed listening to music, listen to something like the sounds of the ocean, something that's peaceful. I go to bed listening to different books that I've read or I want to have them sink into my mind. Some things I want to memorize. So when I go to sleep, I let that play. And I wake up and I feel strong and I feel powerful and I feel like I'm full of knowledge. You ever watched a scary movie and went to sleep and you had a nightmare? It's just like that is a perfect example of how you have to be mindful of what you feed yourself. And I just feel like if you really want to be successful, you got to cut back on television. A lot of people watch Empire and different shows like that. I'm not knocking it, but you only need a dose of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to watch 6 hours of TV, or you work all day, you go home and watch TV till you fall asleep. No, don't. If you want to be successful, those are bad habits. The television cannot put you in position to be a boss. It just depends on what level you want to be on. If you want to be in the multi-millionaire level, if you want to be with the 1% of the population, you don't have time to watch TV. There's other things you need to be doing. You need to be preparing yourself for greatness. You don't, people these days, there's really no role models on television, even down to Sesame Street or these kiddie shows. These kids are terrible. Our granddaughter be watching Caillou and all that. Them kids terrible. It's not any great role models. So like me, I don't have role models. I seek role models. I seek important people and I study them. I read about them. I watch the way they speak because that's the type of person I want to become. I don't watch TV because I don't want to become those people. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop and all that. I don't want to be disrespected. I don't want to have my dirty laundry aired on television and just drama. When I watch a show, I want it to be somebody that's reflecting me or reflecting the type of people I look up to. They say you are what you eat. It's the same thing as the things you put in your mind. The music, the TV shows, the fights that people post on Facebook. Just constantly feeding into drama. How can you live to your full potential and be the queen that you were designed to be if your mind is just full of chaos and drama? You just need to be mindful. It's okay to get a little entertainment, and it's okay to watch TV. I'll say never more than 2 hours a day. But make sure you always feeding your mind with knowledge. And I decided to read 3 books a month. I'm pushing 4, but it took me to turn 40 years old and to want to transition my life to even consider reading 4 books a month. Like, that never was on my agenda. I didn't mind reading, but it just never was a rule for me, a new habit for me. And that's what it's good about transitioning, because you drop the old habits and you attach the new habits. Don't be afraid of change. Because I tell my children, look around you. Look at your friends, some of your family members, your peers. Look around you and you see everybody is like almost doing the same thing. You can name like 4 or 5 different girls who have been cheated on, or their boyfriends or husbands had babies on them, or girls that's on the system constantly or having kids. It's like everybody in your surroundings is all doing the same thing, as if it's a script. As if life is a script. People, young boys getting killed every other day. It's a lot of violence in certain neighborhoods. It's always something. As if the script keeps playing out over and over again in different parts of the country. It's time to break that curse. And the only way you want to break that curse is, for one, you got to separate yourself. You got to separate yourself and go into yourself and realize that change comes from you. People around you don't want to hear it. A lot of people don't want to hear they can improve themselves. A lot of people are content with themselves. A lot of people don't see themselves as millionaires or feel that they're worthy of only what they have. Like, society has tricked us to believe that you got to get out here and work every day and grind for everything you want. And life is hard. Life's not hard. Life is only hard when you don't know how to go about summoning the things you want in your life. It's not, how many people you know that have had good jobs and they still never became a millionaire? They put 30 years on a job, and why do people have to retire at 65? Damn, can I chill? I don't want to retire at 65. That's a long time to work. And how many more years do you really have a quality of life? If the life expectancy is 70 years old, why the hell will I be working till I'm 65 and still never made enough money to live the type of lifestyle I really want to live? Yeah, you can have a decent home, a $200,000 house and a nice car, but what about jetting off to Italy and, eating chocolate in Paris and doing whatever you want when you want, and buying your kids cars when they graduate, and flying on jets and going country to country? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's life is more, it's more to life than just working your whole life and have a house and take a couple of trips to show for it. No. No, no, no. That is what we're not going to continue to settle for. There's generations that's coming up under us, and they need to know that they are valuable, and that as long as you always work on yourself, improve yourself here first and then outwardly, that you'll always be on top. Don't be brainwashed by society. Don't be brainwashed by these TV shows, and don't be brainwashed by your friend. Instagram, Facebook. No, you need to see the light. I want everybody to see the light. And the light is, stop being angry all the time. And that's another thing that you guys can try. And I was just reading this the other day. Well, actually, it's in the book, The Law of Attraction. And it says how, say you had a bad day, right? And you mad. Don't go to bed mad. When you go to bed, just replay the scene in your head as how you wanted it to happen. Say somebody cut you off. And that makes me so mad when I'm in traffic. But when I go to bed at night, I'll lay there and just pretend as if, not necessarily pretend, but trick my mind as if it wasn't a big idea. So what? I'm fine. God spared my life. Let me rest and get some sleep. Sometimes things happen to us and we just get so angry and we ruin our own day. It's just time to let a lot of things go, and that's one thing. There's no need to be angry. There's no need to be vindictive. There's no need to even have enemies, because you got a mission you need to be on. And if you on Facebook arguing with people, or every time you go out to the club you got beef, it's like you wasting your life. Your life is limited. Don't waste your time on drama and beef and try to prove yourself to anyone. You know you're a warrior. You know you're a strong woman. You know you're a strong person. But the battle isn't in the streets. The battle is with the mind. The battle is with the heart. The battle is presenting yourself like a woman who is strong, who can lead a nation, who can influence young girls. And that's how I'm trying to represent myself. I want to be able to influence young girls, and I want young women to think outside the box and realize that it's not always that you have to work your fingers to the bone or go to college for 10 years in order to be successful. Sometimes it starts with just believing in yourself, believing in your dream, taking that first step, because people make excuses all the time. I want to start a business. They can have a great idea. Well, what's holding you up? Oh, it's going to cost this amount of money. Oh, this might not go right. Don't worry about that. Get started. Let God know, let the universe know that I am now in business, and I'm ready for my blessings to pour in. Once you get started and you believe in what you're doing, you just never know where the blessings are going to come from, where the help going to come. Hey, Lucky! You just never know where your help is going to come from. So instead of being afraid to start your business, be encouraged. Because sometimes blessings come to you that you just don't see coming. But if you don't put yourself out there, how can you get it? You know, I just want to tell people to stay encouraged and drain out the nonsense. Listen, I just told somebody out today in a nice way, because I don't like people to talk nonsense to me. I'm the type of person, if you don't come to me correctly, then we can't have a conversation. I'll motivate you, I'll try to encourage you, and I'll give you advice on things. But if you're ignorant, I don't have nothing to say, because I don't have time for that. I want to deal with people who are intelligent, people that are ready to change their lives, people that have good conversation, and people that speak life into themselves. I don't want to hear people say, oh, I'm not good enough, or I could never accomplish this. Yes, you can. Do you know how many millionaires came from dirt? Do you know how many millionaires came from being abused, being sexually assaulted, not having parents? It's just so many people that are in high places in America that have came from the worst situations ever. And if God do it for them, if they do it for themselves, what make you think you can't do it? What make you think that you can accomplish every dream you want to accomplish? The prize is here for you. You just got to come get it. Faith without works is dead. Like, you got to put your time in. Put your time in and watch how things just start flourishing in your life. And not just material things. If you got a relationship and you want to save it. Change your way of thinking. Change the way you've been handling certain situations. And I always tell people, if you don't know what to do, get a book. If you want to learn how to save your relationship, what you want to do is get you a book on how to save relationships, how to make marriages work. And you read it and you implement the things that's in there. Like, we're so quick to throw our hands up because we don't know how to handle things. When you don't know how to handle things, you go to the authority. You go to people who know exactly what you're going through, how to handle things. And you implement that in your life. Because when you love hard without bullshit, you're going to get that same love in return. But if you're not wholehearted in your life, in your relationship, in your marriage, it's going to show. And if you truly work on your marriage or relationship and it doesn't work out, then it's not meant to be. But don't be bitter, because that relationship showed you and taught you that you know what to expect in the next relationship and you know what you're not going to accept. So we just have to stop letting little things in life beat us down. Just always remember, I'm on a mission. I have a life to live. Your kids grow up, they get grown, and your man, he does his own thing. Always think about yourself too. Don't ever just give your life and lay down for your family, because God sent you here on a mission as well. And that's about it for Miss Monday today. You working on your weight loss? Good. And I am too, slowly but surely. But it's all about making that decision and sticking to it. You know, weight loss isn't easy. Just like breaking drug addiction isn't easy. But that doesn't mean you don't start. So what if you relapse? So what? Get back up and do it all over again. You know, it ain't over till it's over. As long as God waking you up every morning, it's not over. So even with the weight loss, if you slip up and eat some cookies or you don't work out that week, don't quit. Make sure the next day you on your shit. And that's how we have to, that's the only way we're going to survive and stay strong, is if we realize that we're only human, and when we make mistakes, that doesn't mean you quit. It means you push harder. It means you study harder. It means you run harder. It means you do things that the average person is not going to do. It means when everybody sleeps, you work out. You feel me? It means push. Push. That's what we do. We push. You might stumble, but don't fall down. Push. And I just want to encourage people on this page that it's not over, but I do want you guys to do your homework. And this is another thing I want to encourage you to do. In the morning, before you even say your prayers, sit on the edge of your bed, or while you're brushing your teeth, you can say it in your mind. Always give 7 things that you're thankful for every morning. Always give 7 things that you're thankful for. Because sometimes we just get so, I don't know, we take everything we have for granted. And it's like, I got this raggedy ass car. But we need to be thankful for that raggedy car. We need to be thankful for the things that we do have, so that way, when we do get better things in life, we would appreciate them more. We'll have a sense of gratitude for the things that we've been blessed with. So regardless of your situation, appreciate it. Take care of it. And work towards better. But don't ever knock what you have and curse your own things, because whatever you have in your life is a reflection of what you're thinking about yourself. If you overweight, it's a reflection of how you feel about your body. Like, I don't really care about working out or eating good. I'm good. If you broke, it's a reflection of how you feel about your pockets, or how you feel about if you can make things happen for yourself. Oh, I can work at McDonald's. I'm good. That's enough for me and mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever you at in your life, it's just a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So remember that. And remember that you can change whatever you feel is a bad habit, or whatever you feel is stopping you from reaching your destiny. And I'm so happy to encourage whoever on this page, because I want somebody to come back and say, Monday, because of you, I changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Because that's what it's all about. Every time before I come on this show, I always pray, and I always ask God to give me a message to touch somebody's life, to transition somebody's life, to just spark that different perspective in somebody to make them want change, because we all need that encouragement, and we all need to know that we're not in this world alone. And there's people that's rooting for you, and that's people that want to see you succeed and excel. Don't be average, be great. Be great. Every day we're writing our eulogy. What will people say about you? What will people say about you? And if you don't know, it's time to make moves so you will know what people say about you. Walk in your destiny. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. I will see you guys Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. for Bodywork Wednesday. You know I'm in the front of the camera at 7 a.m. trying to work out this fat. I don't want to get too skinny, but I'm trying to tone these muscles up. I love you guys. Thank you so much for those that tuned in and shared this video. And next week, I don't know. Who knows what the message is going to be, but you know it's going to be something you can use. Just please, at least take one of my tips that I gave you today and just try it. And tell me how it worked for you. And this is the last tip I'm going to give y'all. Mind control. And like my sign says, I am, what does it say? I can't even see it. But your thoughts become things. That's one thing. Your thoughts become things. And I always say in my mind, I am the master of all my thoughts. You know why? Because sometimes you get crazy thoughts, or you start drifting off, or thinking about things that might have made you upset or hurt your feelings. And then you start feeling bad. I don't allow my mind to take me down them paths. I'll stop. When my mind starts drifting off to things that I know I really don't want to think about at the time, I just remind myself that I am the master of my thoughts, and that I'm going to keep positive thoughts, and I'm going to keep happy thoughts in my mind, because you are what you think. And if you always thinking bad things, you're always going to be in a bad mood. You just, I don't know. You met those type of people who are always negative. It's because they got a lot on their mind, and things that's on their mind is not positive. So just be mindful of what you're thinking at times. Hi, Ruben. I'm going to be in Cali one day. You know it. You better come. We're going to link up. But I love you guys, and I got to go. But rewind this video if you need to hear any more of those tips, because they are going to help you. And let me know next week or on this video if you tried any of them. I think it would be helpful. Stay strong, and just remember, you are controlling your own destiny. And if you believe yourself to be a queen or a king, then you should know that your inheritance is out here with your name on it. Go get it.